That's it.
Oh boy. Yeah. 24 CR 121 is now called.
Right here, sir.
The state of Texas versus Robert Leon Weaver. Over here. Over here.
Yeah, off to a bad start, unfortunately.
You're Mr. Weaver.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
You're a transient, right? You're kind of homeless? Okay, back. Where did you grow up?
I'm in the house, East Texas.
In where?
Anderson County, Humboldt, Texas.
How long did you,
Humboldt, Texas.
Humble?
Oh, Huntsville.
Huntsville?
Yes, sir.
And when did you leave home? About how old were you?
I was young. My parents, both of my grandparents, so I was good.
Okay. Wow. So what do you,
High school graduate.
I see you're, about almost 50.
Yes, sir.
What trade do you have something that you have that you can do that you're real good at?
Longshoreman.
Is what?
Lumberjack, longshoreman, selling trade.
Can't hear.
Lumberjack.
Longshoreman.
Longshoreman. Oh, okay. Gosh, they can make a lot of money.
Seattle, survived to forgive me.
Oh, you need to be out there working on the docks and making. All right. Well, we got to deal with these issues and let's take care of this. And so you can move on with your life. In this case, 24 CR 121, Mr. Weaver, does the defendant waive a formal reading of this indictment? Can we proceed in sum?
Yes.
As long as not married,
Hold on. Let me talk. Let me speak and then you get to talk because when both of us
Because I do not have.
see, hold on. I know. I don't you remember when we were like, hold on.
So sorry to interrupt.
Remember we were in first grade and we were speaking and our teacher got mad at us? We learned back in first grade that you don't interrupt each other. This lady is the court reporter and she's actually more important than me here because the law says she has to record everything in the courtroom. And if two people speak over each other, she's unable to do it. And then those two people get in trouble from the high court. So we don't want to get in trouble. So let's follow our those rules that we learned in school. In summer, this indictment alleges that on or about December 10th of last year, 2023, a few months ago in Jefferson County, Texas, this states that you committed the second-degree felony of arson, it looks like, by damaging a vehicle.
Not unless it's not
Hold on.
actually.
Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes.
Do you understand what you're charged with? All right. That's a second-degree felony.
Not a very arson.
It could have been worse.
I wasn't seeing the car.
Could have been worse.
I could have been murdered. I hid behind a dumpster at the property line.
Hold on. This means if convicted, you face a term of not more than 20 years or less than 2 years in prison. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
My lawyer said there will be no fine.
Yes.
There was no trespassing.
No, just that's what the law says. Hold on. Over here, Mr. Weaver. Yo, over here, listen. Do you understand what the punishment range is? That's not what your punishment is. That's what the range is under the law. You could be sentenced. Hold on. God bless you. You could be sentenced up to 20 years in prison and fined up to $10,000. So that's a lot.
I would like to place some and indictment on this court, this county.
Listen up. Here we go.
Just listen to this.
Here's the agreement that y'all have fashioned. There's an agreement that's been reached, though, that states that you would be pleading guilty. Hold on. Listen to it. At the end, you get to talk. You would be sentenced to 10 years in prison, but you would be placed on probation for 10 years. So you don't have to go to prison. So long as you follow the rules of probation. Also, restitution, you're going to have to get a job like longshoremen and pay these people back for their loss. What, how much money are we talking
I'm
about?
on disability check.
We don't know the precise amount of the loss, Judge, but they should be able to report that
Is it
to probation.
Ideal Transmission?
Yes, that was the
victim?
name of the entity that had
Well,
that
you
vehicle.
gotta pay back whatever damage. That's the right thing to do.
There's scrap salvage.
Well, it may not be a lot of money, but it's still damaged. So we're going to figure out what that is during the probation. There is no fine here, okay? Hey, Mr. Weaver? Yeah. There's no fine. There won't be any fine, okay?
There is no crime, there's no charge, there's the bridge to stand.
Okay, so you're saying are you saying you're not guilty of this?
There's no.
Are you guilty or not?
I'm playing for the 10 probation.
You're pleading guilty to the charge for the 10 years probation that we discussed. Is that correct?
10 years probation, yes, sir. Refuted with wrongful death of my cousin Michael Byers for $1 million. Olympic champion. That's fine. Michael Byers, Olympic champion, wrongful death. Officer from Coach, Texas, wrongful death, died in custody in Beaumont County Jail.
Oh, here's what we're gonna do. He's.
Have we done competency evaluations?
Problem is, I'm
I'm guilty.
trial. I don't know that it's gonna.
I'm guilty. I'll get a job. Yes, sir. I'll do your time.
He seems to understand things, but then he goes off on these.
I'm just trying to refute the evidence. There is no malicious, not.
Seems to understand, doesn't get it though. When he's acting, when he's incoherent
I
and
understand.
talking about the Olympics.
I'm not comfortable
What we're
letting
letting
him out with
is,
some sort of.
I,
I do.
this job is what we all make of it, and it's not going to be a charade. Mr. Weaver is railing on incoherently. It's obvious that we need Dr. Grapan, a licensed psychiatrist, to evaluate the defendant to determine whether or not he is competent to stand trial, and
You know, he's a little nuts, but who isn't?
whether he was sane at the time of this trial, that at the time of this event that is alleged here. So what we're going to do is order him to evaluate the defendant. We'll come back at the end of that
Please, sir.
and figure out where we
I
are.
go to Charles State Hospital in my home. Texas.
We're going to get Dr. Grapan to help
Okay,
you.
Try this over. Can we start over this one more time?
Okay.
I'm guilty of license. I'll take 10 years probation. Nothing like.
First thing we need to do is we got Dr. Grapan needs to come and make sure you're healthy. Okay.
I have no respect for this crate, for this crate.
Anything else? No. God bless you. Now, Mr. Weaver is incoherently speaking to
I have a few more.
How silly!
other people here in the
Now,
courtroom
please say something.
and is incoherent in his statements. You're on your own supervision, which is back assward.
Sorry, I started saying you select standing.
Yes, you're good. That's it right here. Flat. Yep. Pick it up one more time. Thank you. Yeah. Pick it up. Thank you. Place right here. Okay. Okay, you can go stand in front of judge.
Thank you.
Go.
23 CR 1460 is called the State of Texas versus Rogelio Herrera. That's you?
Yes, sir.
Present with Mr. Grove, your attorney and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this indictment and arraignment? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, Your Honor.
In summary, this indictment alleges that on or about August 30th, 2023, in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the third-degree felony of assault on a pregnant person. Well, that's terrible. That's terrible. You make it a practice of beating up on girls, or is that who you beat up on, or do you ever try men? But what do you think about beating up on a girl?
Looking good, sir.
No, it's about as low as it gets. It's like beating up on a child, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Is that the kind of person you are?
No, sir.
The grand jury said you are. They indicted you for this. That's pretty low. Generally, people who pick on others, their gender and size, the ones who pick on others other than their gender and size, generally are cowards about picking on people who are their own gender and their size. Are you a coward?
Yes, sir.
Why would you assault a pregnant woman?
It was a misunderstanding, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you didn't know she was pregnant?
No, I knew.
Really? Well, there's two life forms there. Are you nodding? Does that mean yes? Can you speak English?
Yes, sir.
I see there's an agreement that's been reached where he would be pleading guilty to a lesser class A misdemeanor. Sell that to me, please, under these circumstances. I don't think it's morally right, but what do y'all want to say?
That's primarily based on my communication with the victim of this case, Judge.
And I've had similar communications, I believe, with the victim, although I did not overhear any of Mr. Ham's, but,
She's
she requested.
she's the one that talked me into it, Judge.
She's been adamant that she didn't want to prosecute.
Well, that's not what probable cause affidavit says. Are you telling me at the time of the event, she insisted not to file?
Oh, no, sir. That's not where she was.
That's what you just said.
That was what she told me, when we spoke over the telephone. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, after he'd been in jail and had communications with her, which you're not supposed to have.
No, I didn't have no communication with her, sir.
Judge, I'm the one that's approved this agreement. The reason why I have is he doesn't show to have any record as far as that's concerned. This agreement with the conviction will allow, if he does anything further like this, it will result automatically in a felony, and it abides by the victim's wishes in this regard.
Well, all of us know what the statistics science shows in this type of behavior. Once you cross the line, you're capable of doing it, and you've shown a propensity, and that generally is women are vulnerable to this person. And I just get the sense he couldn't care less. I just get the sense that beating up on girls, pregnant women, are just the kind of thing that he does. What a thug. See, got into a verbal argument over a cell phone code. That's all it takes for you to beat up on a pregnant person. Something meaningless like that. You punched her in the head with a closed fist, causing injury to her. Later, y'all began arguing again. You threw a multivitamin bottle at her leg, causing a bruise on her right leg. The agreement here is that you would be sentenced to 1 year in the county jail pursuant to the lesser included offense of Class A misdemeanor assault. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily to this Class A misdemeanor? And
Yes, sir.
because you are guilty.
Yes, sir.
I show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand it, discussed it with your attorney, or the contents all true and correct?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence
No objection.
without objection admitted. Among other things, this states you were mentally competent to enter your guilty plea, which is freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You've read it. You were guilty of the crime charged and any lesser included offenses. You were giving up your rights to a jury trial and the right to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. You were totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All of this is true. So help you God. Is that so?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is made a part of the record for all purposes without objection.
No objection.
It's admitted. Do I make a finding that this involves family violence?
You can, yes, sir.
I know I can. Is that,
It's appropriate under these facts, circumstances.
That was not part of our agreement, Your Honor, but I'm not going to object to that.
but does it fit the definition of family violence?
It does, because the relation, it's a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, and he's the expected father.
Okay. There's not an objection to that, correct? You can speak out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If nothing, battery's low. So you were pleading guilty today voluntarily. You were mentally competent to do so. You understand the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1. Admitted here to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this Class A misdemeanor involving family assault. You were hereby sentenced to confinement in the county jail for 1 year. The judgment shall reflect that this involves a case of family violence, and it will be rendered in the judgment in this case. Do you understand what has happened today, sir?
Yes, sir.
And that is your child.
Yes, sir.
Legally and morally, you should treat your child's mother decently. Whether you believe that or not, that's a moral rule. That is all. All right. I think we're down to Gotro, right?
Yes, Judge. I'm here.
Is there anybody else
Yes, Judge.
on? Is there any other cases on the docket before that one? No. Okay. I think we're ready. Do we need him out? I guess.
Yes, Judge.
Yeah.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.